What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as Wrestlelamia analyzes Raw and looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Becky Lynch's huge announcement, Asuka's amazing accomplishments, did WWE have to reshoot Money in the Bank, details on the Interbrand invitation, Ray has a gruesome injury on Raw, and much more. As always, we won't waste your time recapping the matches, but we will take a look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from tonight's show. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the good, as number 1, 2 emotional moments. Becky Lynch had 2 big revelations tonight, the first being that Asuka is the new Raw Women's Champion. Now, as emotional as this moment was for the Empress of Tomorrow, it paled next to Becky's next announcement that she's going to be a mother. The WWE handled this announcement extremely adeptly, not only giving the fans a chance for things to sink in, but for WWE superstars to congratulate Becky backstage. It made the wrestlers seem more relatable, and it helped show the real-life relationships between these competitors, all the while maintaining the illusion of kayfabe. Number 2, healing it up. No emotional moment is worth its salt if there's no heel to try and spoil things. While Shayna Baszler's comments about Becky Lynch ruining her career by getting pregnant may have seemed uncalled for, even calling him a Ginger Jr., that's exactly what the Queen of Spades was looking to do, continuing her image as a cold-hearted competitor who's concerned with one thing: conquering the competition. Baszler's comments didn't really hurt Lynch's announcement, but they were a good way for her to get some heat, something that we saw when Natalya went looking to knock some sense into Baszler in the ring, only to come up short. Number 3, Drew's done it again. The WWE is clearly behind Drew McIntyre as Raw's top guy, and so far he's done a great job getting over as a well-rounded wrestler. As much as the captain of the Claymore country has been shining in the ring, he's also been excelling on the microphone. A world champion that's money in the ring and money on the microphone is often money where it counts the most, at the box office. The WWE could have a new megastar if they play things right. Number 4, R-Truth revolutionizing wrestling. R-Truth continues to keep fans laughing, and he did so tonight during his promos before his 6-man match with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. The WWE needs to keep Truth around forever, as he has an uncanny ability to make fans laugh. Number 5, Riveting Returns Part 1. It was good to see the return of the Iconics, former women's tag team champions Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. As we mentioned before, the women's tag roster has been neglected, and with Fire and Desire's Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville splitting up, the tag roster is more depleted than ever. Enter the Iconics, who are more than just 2 women hastily thrown together, but a talented tag team that oozes charisma. An Iconics vs Cross and Bliss series is just what the tag team division needs. The Iconics looked excellent tonight despite being off television for several months. In fact, they haven't even wrestled since November of 2019. Number 6, Riveting Returns Part 2. While Jinder Mahal's return technically wasn't this week, or riveting for that matter, tonight's promo that the modern day Maharaja is embarking on a hero's quest is interesting, as it gives fans a chance to see if Mahal has turned over a new leaf or he's working the fans for another heel turn. And we've said it before, this man works best as a heel. Keep him that way. Number 7, a terrific twist. MVP and Bobby Lashley's interaction last night at Money in the Bank had Wrestlelamia recalling the pair's time in TNA as the Beatdown Clan. However, it looks like Money in the Bank was just the beginning. MVP's backstage talk with Bobby Lashley was a great way to build up a partnership between MVP and him, with MVP reminding Lashley that his last World Championship in 2007 was a good way to show how much Lashley's career has been sputtering since his WWE return, and it also sets the stage what looks to be a split between Lana and Lashley. MVP could be building up a fantastic faction, especially if Lashley is the anchor. Number 8, Seth snaps. Seth Rollins' brutal post-match attack on Rey Mysterio was a sadistic and sickening spectacle, exactly what Rollins needed to do to get back on track after dropping his recent matches to Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. Equally disturbing was Rollins' seemingly insincere attempt to apologize to Rey after trying to gouge Mysterio's eyes out. This angle has Paul Heyman's fingerprints all over it, and it was fantastic. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, the Wildcard Rule Part 2. We'll screw this one up too. While the WWE is touting its relaunch of the Wildcard Rule as the Interbrand Invitational, we have no doubt it's going to be a big disaster, as the Wildcard Rule was in 2019, with the WWE unsure what the rules are and constantly changing who gets to go where and when. The fact that a WWE superstar made the announcement about the talent swap without any official proclamation was indeed a bad sign. If the WWE feels like two roster brands are too weak to sustain themselves, why bother with the brand split? Just temporarily suspend it. You obviously don't have enough talent available. Number 2, murder wasn't the case, a weak explanation. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match proved that King Corbin is willing to kill ahead as he threw both Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the roof of WWE headquarters, and as we saw, both Rey and Black survived, but the WWE's explanation was so weak, as all they said they landed on a secondary roof 6 feet below, that they might as well have ignored explaining it. All the WWE had to do was shoot a scene showing Rey and Black landing hard, but surviving with minor injuries. It would have taken 10 seconds and made the match more believable. Number 3, a hot mess. The WWE is hot-shotting an unnecessary Edge vs Orton rematch simply because it feels its need to do anything to help Raw's ratings. Even if the match takes place on pay-per-view, the WWE must feel the build-up will help ratings. Now we couldn't disagree more and seeks this weak attempt as further evidence of how desperate Vince McMahon is to save his sinking ship. But that was the bad? What about the downright ugly? I mean, this is the first time we've included a downright ugly in Raw after several weeks. And it was over a basketball game. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether I was watching WWE or NBA tonight, as they had a segment between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits having a basketball match. To make matters even worse, the Raiders pretended that they weren't great b-ball players and let the Profits win. Now all we can say is that we hope the two teams don't have a pizza eating contest much as MVP and Matt Hardy did years ago. These type of segments are stupid and diminished an otherwise good show. Raw still has work to do if it hopes to boost its ratings, but tonight's show was undoubtedly the best episode of the Red Brand since the Performance Center shows began. They need to stop putting squash matches on, but at least every match tonight served a purpose, even Angel Garza defeating Akira Tozawa. They did a good job moving storylines along, and while we're skeptical of the new wildcard rule, we're looking forward to the next phases of the careers of Bobby Lashley, Asuka, and Seth Rollins. But that was the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of Raw. Let's move on to the news. Our first story, congratulations. First things first, congratulations to Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins on the big announcement that she's pregnant. Lynch accomplished much in the WWE, including her record-breaking run as Raw Women's Champion. We certainly wish Lynch and her fiancé Seth Rollins all the best as they prepare for the journey into parenthood. I recently became a father myself, and let me tell you, it's not easy. Next up, Asuka's amazing accomplishments. Asuka's Money in the Bank ladder match win not only landed her first Raw Women's Championship, it cemented her status as the most accomplished woman in the WWE. Consider this, Asuka has now held the NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, the Women's Royal Rumble, and of course, the Women's Money in the Bank match. Incredible. Next up, AJ Styles' Boneyard match request. Fans are still talking about WrestleMania 36's incredible Boneyard match between AJ Styles and The Undertaker, and while you've likely heard the rumor that Taker specifically requested AJ to be his opponent, you may be unaware of a special request made by the Phenomenal One. During a recent edition of the Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez discussed Styles requesting Jeremy Borash and a team from NXT and his digital department. I don't know this for sure, but the impression I was given is that AJ Styles requested Borash and his crew be the ones who put this thing together because he knew these guys from Impact. I'm 99% sure that's true. Now, there were rumors that WWE originally only allocated a small crew for the Boneyard match, but it was expanded. It's unlikely the match would have been a success without the talented camera crew. Next up, did WWE have to reshoot Money in the Bank? The WWE's dual Money in the Bank ladder matches featured some exciting moments during the Climb the Corporate Ladder competition. However, PW Insider's Mike Johnson is reporting that the WWE didn't even get everything they needed the first time around, necessitating more work. They did do the pickup shots. I don't know what they were, but as recently as a week ago they were filming to insert into this, and it was very much put together in post-production. It would be fun to see an extended version of the match, which featured a treasure trove of Easter eggs, something which we recently covered. Next up, Karl Anderson promises answers soon. Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows had a lukewarm run in the WWE, yet the talented team did sign a new contract with the WWE last year, leading some fans to question just how dissatisfied Anderson and Gallows were. Turns out it was a moot point, as Anderson and Gallows were released along with many other superstars on 15th April. Recently, Anderson tweeted about the experience saying, "Listen, we had a decision to make in September of 2019. We clearly made the wrong one. In 68 days, at midnight, the big LG and I will talk about it. All of it. The hint was clear that as soon as his no-compete clause is over, he'll have lots to say about his experience in the WWE. Next up, details on WWE's Interbrand invitation. The rumors are true, the WWE is starting a new rule that will allow crossovers between Raw and SmackDown. Post Wrestling broke the story reporting, WWE is set to introduce a ruling that will allow for some crossover between Raw and SmackDown, which comes at a time when numbers have significantly declined on both shows. One source indicated that this idea came at the request of the networks. Last week, Raw hit its lowest mark in modern history with 1.6 million viewers, while Friday Night SmackDown has recorded its 3 lowest figures since launching on Fox over the past 3 weeks. Will this new rule boost the ratings? Well, we'll have to give it some time. And finally, the Hurricane comments on Becky Lynch's pregnancy announcement. Last but not least, former WWE superstar Hurricane Helms tweeted his take on Becky Lynch's big announcement that she's expecting a child. This never happened to Ric Flair. In true Twitter fashion, a clueless fan responded, "Way to be sexist." Naturally, Helms wasn't having any of it and replied, "It's a joke referencing the man nicknamed Dipshit." And on that note, there you have it guys, the good, the bad and the downright ugly from the 11th May edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. What did you think of this week's show? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.